Warning, listening to this podcast may result in chronic ambition and some wins. Yo, what's up, winners? It's Hugo Alonso, and welcome to another episode of Stay Winning. Now, you know I like to see my whole team winning, so if you haven't already, be sure to follow us on social media at Stay Winning Pod and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, thank you for being here. On this episode, I will chat with you about credit, as in your FICO score, and how the credit bureaus determine your score. Stick with me until the end for a bonus tip on how you can raise your credit score for free and in a short amount of time. I find this topic to be very important because good credit can have a major impact in your life. We're right around the end of 2020, and it's that time of year where a lot of us start thinking about our goals in 2021. Now, I have some big goals for this new year, making some big moves. One of the big things I'm doing next year is showing them I meant what I said. You'll find out more of what I mean soon. We're just going to win and win some more. Now, I'm excited to hear what some of your goals are, so message me on Instagram or leave me a voice message on my website. I may just play your message on the next episode. So if you feel your dreams are too big, too scary, please, I want to hear them. I want to be scared with you. I want to see you win. I still remember the phrase someone told me. In this world, you are just a number, and that number is your credit score. I don't really remember who told me that, but it makes more sense to me now than it did back then. And I want to share with you why. Some of you may have a goal to buy your first home in 2021, and I hope you do, because that's very exciting. But before we count down to the new year and we continue to do any type of financial planning, we have to make sure we are prepared for it. We have to make sure your credit is right. I don't want your credit score to be the reason your dreams get delayed. And I want you to take advantage of the best rates out there. Your credit score can range from 300 to 850. And having good credit can have a major impact in your life. Your first and largest factor is determined by your payment history, meaning your on-time payments. This makes up 35% of your FICO score. This is the first thing a lender will look at. It helps a lender figure out the amount of risk they will take when extending your credit. So be sure to keep your accounts in good standing so you can build a positive and healthy history. The second factor is amounts owed, or your credit utilization. This makes up 30% of your FICO score. Balances on your accounts do not necessarily mean you are considered high risk. However, if you are using a lot of your available credit, the banks can interpret that to mean you're at a higher risk of defaulting. Be sure to keep your balances low. The third factor is the length of your credit history. That makes up 15%. In general, longer credit history increases your FICO scores. However, I know people with less than 3 years of credit history with FICO scores in the 700s. The bureaus take into account how long your credit accounts have been established. They will also take into consideration how long it's been since you last used your accounts. The fourth factor is your credit mix, or types of credit accounts. That makes up 10% of your score. FICO scores will consider your mix of credit cards, installment loans, and mortgage loans. However, it is not necessary to have one of each. Number 5 is new credit. This is also 10% of your score. Opening several accounts in a short span of time represents a greater risk. It's not recommended to open too many accounts too quickly. Once a year, you are entitled to one free credit report from each of the credit bureaus. I recommend using annualcreditreport.com. Credit Karma and Credit Sesame are also great mobile apps for you to keep track of your FICO scores. Thank you for sticking with me this far in the episode. I apologize for my allergies, but here's your bonus tip I hope you can benefit from. It's called credit piggybacking, and it's one of the fastest ways to increase your credit score, especially for those that don't have much credit history. Before I continue, let's take a moment to thank our episode sponsor. So credit piggybacking, what that is, winners, is when someone adds you as an authorized user to their credit card. You're able to get all the benefits of someone else's score without you needing to do any of the hard work. There is a catch though. Some banks are changing the rules, so be sure to do your research and see which ones will still carry over the credit history. I believe as of the release of this episode, Wells Fargo and Bank of America still report the past credit history versus only reflecting credit history from the date you were added. If the information has been overwhelming, simply take these two things with you. Make your payments on time and keep your balances low. Winners, if you're finding value to the information I am sharing on this podcast, please help me out and subscribe, share, download, and tell your friends. You know this podcast is new, so if you're feeling extra kind, give me a rating and leave me a review. I can definitely use your help to stay winning. This show is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. It's not intended as personal financial advice. Before making any financial decision, please do your due diligence and consult a financial advisor as needed.